Gilliam.
It's going to be wild.
Dark Sea.
To be wicked. Hello, everyone. I am Claude Wood. Today, it's NMRO Type 5 mud drags from the Indiana State Fair. And the drivers tell me of particular interest today. Look out for the starting line. Traditionally at this track, not very good traction at all. We'll see how that plays out. Now for more on what makes up a Type 5 mud drag, let's go to Doc Riley.
Claude, they call them the unlimited class. The reason, the cubic inches in this class, it's wide open. But a couple of the specifications we need to cover. First of all, the tires. These have to be DOT tires, and they can be cut. And you'll notice they've cut them out here and grooved them a little bit to help sling that mud out. The tire size, 45 inches by 18. Pretty simple. Anything less than that you can run in Class 5. The business end of this is all at this rear end. The battery box is right here. You see the drive shaft. Has to be four-wheel drive, so you've got a front and a rear drive shaft. This is a chain-driven ride right here. And you'll notice, just like any other race vehicle, your Jazz fuel cell, so very important. Your MSD power distribution, so very important. Your little fuel blower, so very important. And, of course, the safety features, the SFI restraint straps, and the blower shield right here. In case that comes unbuckled, that blower belt, that protects it, knocks all that shrapnel down into the dirt. Inside the cockpit, really not much. It is the business end of things. Clean, simple, ready to rock and roll. Everyone that runs an NMRO must have a motorsport approved helmet. That's so very, very important. And of course, safety first when you're mud drag racing. The other thing, a 150-inch wheelbase. And that's pretty much it. In this class, we'll see some tube frame chassis. We'll also see some full-body trucks. That's the excitement of Class 5, the Unlimiteds.
Thanks, Doc. And coming up first, we will see Nora Black out of Linton, Indiana, and Lickety Split. She will face Mike Morath from High Ridge, Missouri. Joining me in the booth today, our expert analyst is Rick Carlson. And Rick, this one will be fast-paced for sure.
It will be quick. Mike Morath, one of the quickest that we'll see, and he takes it the first time a 2.577. Nora Black and Lickety Split, well, way back behind him somewhere. Let's take a look on replay. You can see all four tires hooking them up, then the front end is up the air. Morath, no problems at all.
No problems at all indeed. Let's check in with Doc Riley.
The times are definitely getting a little bit faster, I think. I don't know what time I turned, but
2.577.
That's not too bad. If my luck goes right, I won last race on that number, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see if luck will hold for the real estate mover.
And that will bring up Dustin Rogers driving the Armageddon. He will face Gene Kutchin out of Crawfordville, Florida.
And Kutchin won Class 5 in Bloomsburg, Indiana just a few weeks back. He's got a Chevy power plant. Rogers has a Hemi. Both of them sitting in front of their engines, waiting for the lights to come down, and there they go. How about a 256? Rogers, your class leader. We'll take a look at the replay and watch Rogers. When it first moves, the front end just steps up in the air, back end settles in. It has traction, the front just floating down there. That's what you do to take over the leaderboard. Now here's Doc.
Hey, Dustin, nice pass.
Great track. It's a good track to come to here in Indy. We just got the cars going good. Hopefully, we'll stay on top.
Time will tell, Rick. Well, here comes Rick Kruschke driving Blown Money, and his opponent will be Tim Wheelis out of Jefferson, Georgia in Simply One.
Simply One, two-time series champion, currently fourth in points. He's got to start winning some rounds if he wants to get back up to the top. And, wow, look at that front end up, and how about a 253? The new leader, and it looks like he had no problems at all.
And that will bring up Joe Warrenen. He will drive Pretty Boy 2, and he will face Rick Thompson.
Rick Thompson, the Minnesotan in Lickety Split. He's sitting there in front of the engine. For Warrenen, well, that truck it's still sitting at the line. Thompson 271, good pass. 371 for Warrenen, and the truck not going to help either one.
World of Trucks is being brought to you by Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawn.
bring up Tina Olszewski out of Wallingford, Connecticut, and she will face Jim Francis driving the Burning Desire. Jim Francis, Evansville, Wyoming. Tina from Wallingford, Connecticut, about as far apart as we're going to find competitors. Tina wastes no time getting down the track at 292. Burning Desire a little quicker, 276, neither moving to the top. And Rick, let's remind everybody right here, this is a race against the clock. There will be bonus points for reaction time, but the bottom line, the best ET will win it. And that will find Roger Widholm up against Bob Rasmussen. Couple of Minnesotans. Bloodshot 2 and well done, and Bloodshot 2, 273, 292 for Rasmussen. Again, no one moving to the head of the pack. And here comes a bad habit. This is Byron Tinky out of North Liberty, Iowa. He will face Bob Dunham from Pleasant Lake, Michigan. Dunham and Rolling Thunder, both these machines good looking, both of them with the blowers sticking up in the air. One front motored, one rear motored. And here we go. There's Bob Dunham, and he moves over toward the center. He's gone. Tinky runs a 3:002. That doesn't help him. Let's take a look at the replay and Claude try and figure out what happened. Well, Rick, let's take a look at the left lane as we're seeing it. That's Bob Dunham, and on the beginning, he's okay, but right there, he crosses the center line, disqualified.
Hey, usually when we talk to you, we're talking to a great ET and a great time and maybe a win or maybe a top 5 finish, but not this time. What happened?
She kind of pulled me to the center a little bit, and I just kept on her, and once you lift, you lose, so what the heck. I thought maybe she'd come back, but it didn't.
Maybe it's one of these TV things, because every time we show you, either end up on your lid or end up in winner's circle, so this is kind of a weird in-between, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. The winner's circle's a lot better than on your lid, though. That's the big one.
Here comes the Taz, and it's driven by Mike LeBacon, and he will face this guy, Vic King, out of Ryersville, West Virginia. Vic King in Thumper, and Mike LeBacon in Taz. A little bit of smoke in the right lane. Both of them in stage, waiting for the lights to come down. Looks like LeBacon left a little early. All eyes are on him, but wow, King of Wheelstead way up in the air in that other lane. King runs at 281, and most of it just on the back two tires. We got to watch this again, Claude. There we can see LeBacon did leave early, but what about King?
Well, Rick, King launched. He really launched. He's straight up in the air. Now, LeBacon had the smoke, but he also had the red light.
Woo! A whole lot of fun there, huh? Wow. I thought I saw Elvis.
Elvis at a couple hundred feet. You came off the line great, and then all of a sudden she just started gaining some altitude.
Yeah, I put a new front end under his thing, and it was my first pass back out with it before I tried it out, and I had to make Indy this year, and it felt good. I'm going to have to talk to somebody, see what's going on, and find out. I had a wheelie bar on it, and I took it off, and I think I'm going to have to go home and get it.
Rick, very top of the show. We told everyone it would be fast-paced. It has lived up to that. You're looking at Greg Kunkel right there, and he will face Jim Powers out of Missouri.
Jim Powers, Midnight Rider, and Kunkel's Kryptonite, that bright green machine and the red frame. It's kind of hard to miss. Both of them side by side. Looks like Powers at 276, 281 for Kunkel, and they still can't get to that 253 where the leader is.
And that will bring up Chad Keonigan out of Tiffin, Iowa. He will face Gary Reddick.
Gary Reddick, a no-show. Touch of Madness, not able to make it. Keonigan feeling lucky. Yeah, he made it down there, but still nowhere close to that 253.
It's time now for Product Highlight, which features some of the most interesting and innovative aftermarket products available for your vehicle. Now, here's Doc Riley.
You can always count on a couple of companies to come up with the new best product, and the guys at CompCams have done exactly that. Chris Douglas joins us, and tell me about this brand new exciting program you guys have put together.
Man, am I excited about this. What we have here is our Tri-Power Extreme. Now, what that means, that is a cam and programmer package. All the popular truck and SUV applications, we've got you covered with this.
What can I look for as the consumer? What's going to be the big advantage to this?
You know, the whole magic here is that this allows you to optimize your electrical system and your valve train together. So whether you want fuel efficiency, torque, horsepower, you can get it with this.
We're always looking for that kind of stuff. You guys are always on the cutting edge. You know, there's a lot of important people at CompCams, but I think that you guys as a company listen to the guys behind the steering wheel and kind of invent things or craft things that come up to make sure that everyone ends up with a little bit more fuel economy or horsepower.
Absolutely. You know, we're enthusiasts too at Comp Cams, and we listen to our own people as well as our customers. This is something they wanted right here. And, you know, it comes with this neat camo packaging, so you know it's for truck and SUVs. And for a limited time, we've even got a camo hat that comes along with it.
You know, leave it to the guys at Comp Cams, not only to put together a quality product, but a sharp-looking hat as well. And to find out more, just stay tuned. At the end of this program, we'll have all the contact information.
Stay with us now. The points leader is coming up next for the Class 5 Mud Drags. Four-wheel and off-road jamboree in Indianapolis. Now here's Doc Riley.
When you come to a four-wheel jamboree, there's one thing you need, and that is tires. No wimpy little tires. You've got to have big, aggressive, off-road type tires. You've got Dick Seepeck tires and Mickey Thompson, the legendary Baja Claw. Now, the guys at Mickey Thompson always are one step ahead of everybody because what they want to do is get a tire for every single fitment. You've got the Baja Claws, the radials that come up, and they've also got a complete selection of wheels as well. So you want to set that rubber off with a nice set of wheels. And one thing you can count on, Mickey Thompson has definitely done all the research and development. Look at this bad boy. 46-inch tall tires. What will Mickey Thompson come up with next? You'll find out in the near future. Mickey Thompson Tires getting it done for the four-wheel jamboree and the serious off-roader as well.
Thanks, Doc. Well, it's hammer time. This is Blake Lathan driving hammer time, and he will face the points leader. As we told you before the break, this is Mike Lane. Mike Lane, wicked sensation, the points leader. Been able to get down the courses all year quicker than anyone else. Is he going to be able to do it here? Oh, 2.41 seconds, over a tenth quicker than anyone else in the show so far. And Rick, as we go to the replay, you can see the open body machine first off the line. The truck is really bouncing. That's where he loses time. Let's go to Doc.
Mike Lane, every time you come to Indy, there's something spectacular happening. Nice pass.
Well, I get lucky every once in a while, and track's coming around. I think it might get a little faster, but I should come out with a top 5, hopefully.
2.418.
Well, that'll hold up, I do believe. Either way, I got the points locked up, I do believe.
Congratulations on that.
Thanks, Tom.
Well, that'll bring up the Sloppy Joe. This is John Bernal out of Holland, Michigan, and he will face Rick Holmes. Rick driving the Wild Cherry. Wild Cherry, it's a wild-looking machine in bright red. John Bernal in the yellow machine in the far lane. And it's going to be Holmes, 269, good time, not at the top. And let's take a look at it again, see what happened to Bernal. He's nowhere to be seen here at the finish line. Rick, are we noticing that this left lane is holding up better? It seems to have a lot more traction and a better takeoff. I don't know if we've got that. We seem to have a lot of bouncing and breakage in the far lane.
Well, a bit of bad luck, man. Looked like a tough ride.
Yeah, it was. I come out of the end of the pit. I felt it shaking, rattling. I knew something broke. I thought I broke the rear end, but broke the frame. We can get it back and get it in the pits, get a welder. I think we can get it fixed, be back for tomorrow. It was on a pass. A lot of power and torque back there.
Well, that's a whole lot of ifs, Rick. Well, that will bring up Paul Wessinger from Spring Grove, Illinois. He will be in the Paperboy Express facing Dennis Beatty. Dennis Beatty, the City Kitty machine. Good-looking, roadster-style machine, got the rope and everything, and straight up in the air, does him no good. And Wessinger at 251, good enough for second spot. We've got to watch this. Look in the near lane, the closest lane to us. Smoked the tires, hooked up, went up in the air, and then just bounced all around. Maybe too much traction there. So as we continue on, that will bring up Chuck Cordy III in the Mud Missile. And he will face Bill Odenwald. Bill Odenwald and Lightfoot in the Mud Missile. Chuck Cordy III, Chuck's dad, a former champion. This guy can really drive. He's third in points right now. But he has problems at a 2.706 for Odenwald, not to the top. Now we watch him and look at that wing machine come over to the center line, all over the place. He had the left tire dig in, and it just moved him to the other side. And that, of course, means he is disqualified. Here comes Keith Mitchell in the Magician. His opponent will be Andrew Simons out of Union, Missouri. The American Flyer and the Magician. Well, a magician playing in the mud, I guess where you come up with the Magician. How about a 272? Mitchell will take it, but he's not going to be totally pleased. And the American Flyer not flying much today. That will bring up Sean Barber. In back in black, his opponent will be Wilmot Lee. Back in black, that'd be the black machine, and TNT for Wilmot Lee, the third, who is out there. And Wilmot Lee, the third, is left, but wow, Sean Barber out of bounds, top end. So Wilmot Lee, his 328 gets the win, but not going to do him much good. Let's look over to the right of your screen. We're going to see what happened. You see smoke. Not sure what it did, but it took that machine completely off the race course. And here comes Chris Boulay out of Red Oak, Texas, in Obsession. He will face Sean McMurray in Doggone. Chris Boulay, former champion of this class, chassis builder, builds lots of the machines that you see out here. They're both in and staged, and we watch that far left lane as you go down the course, and he has to double clutch it up in the air and out. Amazing. Still running at 2.800 does Boulay. World of Trucks is being brought to you by Hallmark. Built strong for the way you work.
You can serve your
from the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Claude Wood along with Rick Carlson today. And you're looking at Joel Coolidge driving Nightmare 3. He will face Byron Rogers in the Lethal Weapon. Lethal Weapon, another one of the good-looking rear-engine machines that we have out here. Joe Coolidge in the Nightmare 3, also good-looking in the Nightmare 3. Going to get there at a 277, and Byron Rogers, Lethal Weapon, having problems, bouncing a bit just off the starting line. Here's a guy, Rick, in Simply 2. This is Tim Wheelis. He has won the past 2 seasons here, and he will face Mike Lane out of Botkins, Ohio. Mike Lane, your current leader, driving his second car, the Attitude Machine. And let's see how he does with that. He just bounces all the way through at 265, 246 for Tim Wheelis. Neither one of them moving ahead of Mike Lane's earlier 241. This will bring up Stephen Hoggum from Casper, Wyoming in the Down and Dirty, and his opponent will be Lionel Parker out of El Paso. A couple of racers making long drives to get here. Down and Dirty from Wyoming, living on the edge. The El Paso-based machine, and he was over on the edge of the track. 2.88 seconds for Parker. Let's go to the replay, Rick, and see exactly what happened to Living on the Edge over there. Living on the Edge got close to the edge, but the other side, Down and Dirty, went out of bounds. As a matter of fact, he was disqualified, going over and talking to the spectators. Well, it's time now for the Richter scale. This is Dan Richter out of Franklin, Wisconsin, and that's what he calls his buggy, Richter scale, and he will face L.J. Bondi. Bondi and Spanky, too. I think it's pink, but most racers don't like it when you call it pink, and they have some fancy name. But the Richter scale out of there at 2.51. It looked good. It looked straight, but not good enough. Incoming now is a Dirty Bird. This is Mark Osteen out of Georgia, and he will face Eddie Block driving the Alter Ego. Alter Ego, very simply the altered in the Richter scale. I'm not sure what he has. He's got the headlights on the front, the blue oval decal, and an engine behind him. And he basically just bounces it and jumps the light, while Alter Ego at 288 for the win. And Rick, a good look right there at Pretty Boy. This is Rich Malmgren out of Peculiar, Missouri. He will face Michael Lathan out of Davenport, Iowa. Camera time, the S10 Chevy truck. Pretty Boy 2. Ford Ranger missed the front end. Couple of full-bodied machines. Let's see how they handle the track. Well, if you count bouncing and bumping, they do pretty good, but neither time good enough to get in the top half of the field. Rick, we have one pass remaining. That will be Gary Reddick and the Touch of Madness. Touch of Madness, an altered, tough machine with a Hemi in it, and, well, he stepped in it twice, bounced a little bit. His 308 bounces this way, and he's not in the program either.
Well, a win at Indy has got to feel great.
Oh yeah, this is pretty good. It ends the season pretty well.
But speaking of that, congratulations on a championship.
Yes, we wrapped up the championship here with a win, and hopefully we do good, next class and see if we can do the championship there.
You and Mr. Wheelis have had a great battle this year. You guys have been on top of the score sheet every time, in and out, and you guys have been great competitors. And he just mentioned to me off camera that he was proud that he was able to battle with you in Class 5.
Oh yeah, I'd have to say it's what keeps me going, it's Tim. So, it's always between me and him, here lately it has been, so he keeps me going, keeps me working on it.
Congratulations on the win at Indy and the NMRO Class 5 championship.
Right. Thank you very much.
And our congratulations from the booth go out to all competitors, especially the top 5 and especially number 1, Mike Lane. By the way, the quickest reaction time, Michael Lathan, .44. In the points, Mike Lane well out in front of everybody else.